Welcome to my adventure guide for the Borderlands Bash adventure. This is a replayable adventure that gives 4 energy per day, has 3 different difficulty settings, and has persistent health. Now, as you can see, this adventure doesn't reward gems when you finish it, just like the Rune Hunters adventure. However, for Rune Hunters, if you watched my video, I said that it was worth for 1% of the player base when you are in the end game and you have a lot of crystals and a lot of gems. It may be worth farming for the extra ore, and you can also buy follow crystals for 250 gems each, which is not cheap. That's what I said for 1% of the player base. But in the case of Borderlands Bash, I don't see any reason to spend gems here, honestly. So, in my opinion, just play the free energy you get every day, and that's it. Treat it like it was a non replayable adventure. The adventure is pretty short. You start right here, do a couple fights, then you have an optional dungeon that will give you some extra shards. We continue the main path. We can access this shop where you can buy random epic runes in exchange for gold and legendary and mythic runes in exchange for gems. In my opinion, grab the gold ones. Gold is free, but don't spend gems on the others. Then we continue the main path through here, and we have a second optional dungeon that also gives a few shards as a reward. Continue the main path for the last dungeon, and that's the end of the adventure. So, yeah, you get 4 free energy every day. The adventure lasts for 4 days, so that's 16 energy plus what you get at the end of the run. You need 6 energy to get 6 extra energy to get to the end. And as I said, here's the energy. You can buy power-ups here, but I don't recommend it. They are very expensive, and I prefer to buy them on the event shop for the extra event tickets. And that's it. So let's start. Maybe we have a hill giant that, oh yeah, at the start, because there is persistent health, at the start of each fight, you will get the pop-up to use essences and healing potions. This is something that you can go here in general settings. If you go down, rest and recover, disable to skip the rest and recover stage in adventure and event battles. So I'm going to disable. However, remember to re-enable it at the end of the adventure session. So when you do events, is available again. Yeah, I think I said the Here Giant, he gains 10 mana when taking poison damage. So unless you have a poison elemental build where you need to be careful, otherwise it's pretty easy. And also, this is the highest difficulty of the 3. And as you can see, it's level 50 to 55, so it's pretty easy. The next enemy is a Fire Giant that gains mana every time you cast a fire. Every time it receives fire damage. So if you're using a fire build, fire elemental build, be careful. But otherwise, another easy enemy. And here we can choose to continue through the main path or take the optional dungeon. As I said, the optional dungeon will only give you a few shards. I mean, if you're starting the game and you don't have a lot of shards, maybe, but otherwise not worth the extra energy. So we continue the main path. We have a frost giant that gains mana when taking ice damage. So just like the others, keep in mind that if you're not strong enough, you may be charging its spells. It's dead, and we go to the shop. Let me show you back in the map. We're here. We go to the merchant shop and we buy the one epic ice rune and one dark rune. They're random, the two that you're gonna get. And again, I don't think it's worth spending anything there. And we go to the next fight, which is a storm giant, which gains mana when taking light damage. And another easy enemy, and he's gone. And that's all the energy for today. The only thing that is left is the last dungeon before the end. Again, you can take this optional dungeon and get the extra shards here, or you can continue the main story and go through this last dungeon. And that's exactly what I will do tomorrow. So, see ya. It's day number 2 for the Borderlands Bash adventure, so let's finish where we left yesterday, which is the last dungeon. First we have fight an ogre, 50% chance to explode a random gem every turn, not particularly difficult. None of these enemies are difficult. This is quite an easy adventure. The next one is the Iron Giant, but it's the mini boss. Gains 10% of starting armor and resistance every turn, so only a problem if you don't have enough firepower. And finally, the boss is the double-headed Etin. Gain 10 mana when taking dark damage, so it works like a dark giant, but again, not difficult. And we are right at the end of the adventure. And here we get one random epic rune, one random light scroll, and one random legendary scroll. Excuse me, and one random epic scroll. Now, this was a lucky draw because it's an epic light scroll, but it can be any of the 5. So there's a 20% chance. Now, we can replay the adventure again. And as you can see, the extra energy, the 2 extra points of energy, do not carry over. So you have to spend 2 points of energy on each run to finish this. Is not like you could spend, I mean, you could take advantage of the extra 2 that you got and get 1 run for free. So we get in the shop. Yeah, I cannot preview it from here, but anyway, 2 runes, and in the end you get 1 rune and 2 scrolls in exchange for 20 gems. Now, if we check the Puzzle Quest 3 Story Rewards document from the Throne of Odin. This is the guide that you can access from the Throne of Odin Discord. And if you haven't joined yet, please do so. It's a great community and has a lot of guides like this one. You can see the rewards for doing a full story mode run. I have a video on how to farm story mode. And here you can see under scrolls, in one run you will get 6 uncommon scrolls, 11 rare scrolls, and 7 epic scrolls. These 7 scrolls are random, so they can be any of the 5 elements, but you're getting 7 with a full run. In fact, you don't have to do a full run. If we go up right here, the last ones appear in chapter 11, so you can do runs from chapter 1 to chapter 11 and try to farm those very difficult to get epic light scrolls, because these cannot be farmed anywhere else. Now, can you farm them here? Can you spend gems trying to get those epic light scrolls in this adventure? Yes, but each run is going to cost you 20 gems, and you are going to have a 20%, because there are 5 elements, to get the light scrolls. So on average, you're spending 100 gems to get 1 epic scroll. So it's up to you to decide if it's worth it or not. In my opinion, no, it is not. That's why I don't recommend spending energy on this adventure. And that is the end of the video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.